everybody. Welcome to another episode of Two Strike Noise, your mom's favorite baseball history podcast. My name is Jeff. I'm one half of the show, as usual. Joining me, as always, not from the studio today. Mark is actually on location today. He is officially in the tarps off portion of the Two Strike Noise paddock up in the Pacific Northwest.
This place is lovely.
Yes, but you're in the special tarps off section. You can catch the video of this week's podcast on our YouTube channel if you want, if you're interested, ladies and gentlemen. You want to see that? You're
Okay.
glutton for punishment. Go for it, I guess. But yeah, welcome. Mark, how you doing?
Oh, dude, never better. You know, we've had some nice weather up here. It's kind of wrapping up now, you know, the little bit of nice weather we have and going back to rain. But it was nice. Me and the dogs got to go for some walks and having a good time and, you know, just enjoying some baseball with my first place yet under 500 Seattle Mariners.
Are they in first now? I don't pay any attention to the American League West anymore.
They are, believe it or not.
I know they beat up on the A's down in Sacramento, over in Sacramento, I guess, to me. But
Yes.
again, don't pay any attention, so don't know. Don't know.
Well, I'll keep you updated. That's all you need to know.
Before we get into our BP segment this week, Mark, you've got some emails we want to catch up on?
Yeah, just some. We threw a few things out there and we had some people answer. One of the first things, I think it was in February, we were talking about honeymoons and if anybody altered their honeymoon or their wedding to accommodate baseball in any capacity. We did have a couple of people write in. Bill, Marshall's buddy, Bill, we'll call him Bill. I never know if I want to say the last name or not, you know, because maybe people don't want to be associated with us or with the show. But Bill is a buddy of Marshall and his wife, and he went on they had an April wedding and they went to Northern California. So your neck of the woods, San Francisco, Napa. Carmel.
I wasn't invited, but okay, cool.
The last night before leaving for home, they went to an A's game in Oakland, saw Jim Abbott pitch for the Yankees. So that's pretty cool.
Nice.
And then Brian wrote a lot of really nice things about the podcast. And he was talking about baseball-related weddings or honeymoons. And he said, I'm just going to kind of go through this. He said, in 1979, I got married to my wife, Judy. We took a 7-week cross-country driving honeymoon. They attended a baseball game that summer, the Tidewater Tides in Richmond, Virginia.
Nice.
The friend of his was playing third base for the Braves. His name was Jerry Maddox, who did get into a few games with the Atlanta Braves in 78, but was sent down when the Braves signed a guy named Bob Horner. So, yeah, bummer. He said they had a young outfielder by the name of Mookie Wilson that was a pretty good Tides player. Now, I did find this very interesting, being a big fan of Jeopardy myself. He said, by the way, I was able to pay for my wedding, honeymoon, and new car with my winnings from Jeopardy the previous year. Art Fleming was still the host.
Wow.
I thought that was pretty cool.
This is a book.
I know,
this is
right?
a great story. And
I
RIP.
totally agree.
We should just mention RIP to Bob Horner that just passed away
he just
this
passed
week.
away.
That's
That's
very
right.
sad.
Bob was one of the first guys, bigger names to go to Japan, even when he was still hitting home runs in the U.S. Anyway, Brian mentions that Judy passed away in 2004, but he has incredible memories, vivid memories of that summer. And so Judy must have been a very special person too. So thank you, Brian, for writing in. That is such an interesting story.
Man, that is a long honeymoon. A long time to be trapped in a car with somebody. I will say that regardless, but that is a great story. That's lifetime of memories right there. Yeah. That's great.
Very cool. Now, this is a very interesting friendship I've developed. John K, we'll call him again. I don't want to say his last name unless he gives us permission. Started talking about one of the episodes, found out that he plays this APBA game. Now, I've talked about Strat on here a lot of times.
And I've talked about Status Pro, which is what I played.
Right. Well, this is APBA, and John, interestingly, is a member of the APBA Hall of Fame because he is apparently quite a player in this game. Well, he took the time to send me the whole game. Okay. All these great cards and charts, and I'm looking through it. Told him I was a lifelong Stratomatic player and that I was curious about APBA. And so he told me all about it. He sent me these cards and charts, and I'm looking forward to learning how to play this. And I'm very excited about it. He also sent us a stack of 1972 Topps cards to play Wax Packs Heroes with.
Oh, wow. 72.
72. Yeah, no kidding. This guy is something else. So he's a buddy of the show. John, I wanted to say thank you for everything you sent, and we're looking forward to getting into this. I thought about, I'm just throwing it out there. What if we had a few guys who played this game online and we just played each other once in a while? I think that would be fun.
Yeah, I've been kicking that around with out of the park baseball, because I know a lot of people play that, and that you can just play over the internet. I'm looking at the APBA. It looks very similar to Strat and Status Pro. Just another one of those. Another one of those games that we grew up playing before computers, and
that's right.
That's awesome.
So John,
thank you.
Thanks, buddy, man.
John, thank you a lot.
We are stoked. So
it's a great story, and we're going to use those cards today in Wax Packs Heroes.
That's right.
How about that? Very cool.
And then, we heard a lot from other people. Marshall, of course, checked in, and Brett, who is a listener from South Australia, wanted to check on us and make sure we were still making new episodes.
Oh,
so I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, a lot of guys, a lot of other people reached out. I'm going to forward you some of these emails. Just people with well wishes and just being cool. We have, the people talk about, we have the smartest listeners on our podcast. We have the dumbest listeners on our podcast. We have the nicest listeners, I think.
Yeah, we really do appreciate it. And I do appreciate, like I said, this is our sporadic schedule is all on me. I'm going through some stuff, and I appreciate everybody's been so cool about it and reaching out, and I do appreciate that. And I'm doing well today. I'm excited today to talk about baseball. I've got a subject. We got some BP to get through, and these emails are great as well. So I really do appreciate that, everybody. Thank you very much. All right, Mark. Well, we've got through the mailbag segment. Maybe that'll have to be a new one.
The mailbag. Hey.
Let's go to our BP segment here and get ready to go. Just a few observations from me, first of all. So, every stadium now, every stadium, even Fenway and Wrigley have, these huge, massive screens, usually in center field, not in, like Wrigley doesn't. They're down the lines, but most newer stadiums have the screens in center field, right? And when I see a batter strike out, the first thing they do is they look up at the screen to watch a replay, right?
Yes.
And usually the TV will either be showing the pitcher immediately afterwards or the batter as they walk back before they go to their replay. And I swear, every time I look at that, the batter is looking out at the screen, and it looks to me like they're looking at the pitcher and staring him down, and they're going to start jawing at each other or something.
It does,
especially if
sometimes.
It's a called strike, right?
Yes,
especially, it gets me every single time. I'm a simple mind, so.
Yeah, what are you looking at, pal?
It's because that's what happens, right? I remember when Ricky and Jack McDowell got into it. McDowell was a Yankee, Ricky was an A, and he struck him out like 3 times, and he was staring Ricky down, and Ricky's looking out, and then they start jawing as Ricky's walking back. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah,
every time.
I see that. I see that too. That's funny.
I want to bring back a phrase. I heard this phrase a couple of times in 1 week, and I had never heard it before. It was on the back of a baseball card is where I heard it from, but circuit clouts. We need to bring that back as another name for home run.
A circuit clout? Wow.
A circuit clout. Just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It's very old-timey.
It's old-timey, all right.
I want to bring it back. All right. Mark, if you had to stick Elmo from Sesame Street, you know Elmo, right? Tickle Me Elmo,
yes,
all that. If you had to stick Elmo in a Major League Baseball booth for fun, which booth would it be?
Oh, boy. Where would he be the most interesting? Colorado?
Do you know who's in the Colorado booth? I think
Elmo
Jeff Houston or somebody, or is that... I don't know. I would say, if Uke were still around, I'd say the Brewers. That would be fun. But a solid next choice for me is Philadelphia. And you know why? Because you got John Kruk there as well, who is on about the same level as Elmo. And Elmo happened to stop by Philadelphia for a half inning, and we got some great some great sound.
Have you enjoyed your day at the ballpark today?
It's been wonderful, yeah. And Elmo loves the Phillies. Go Phillies, baby!
Yeah. So who's your favorite Phillies player?
Oh, that's a very difficult question. You know, Elmo met a lot of them earlier, but like Bryce Harper.
Yep.
And Kyle Schwarber, the Schwarber. Very cool. Yeah.
They're big, aren't they? Big?
Bigger than Big Bird.
Bigger than Big Bird. They are bigger than Big Bird.
John Kruk was right at home with Elmo there.
They may have worked together at some point.
They might. Well, you know, Keith Hernandez did.
Yeah,
Keith Hernandez was on, and Ron Darling.
You know, Keith and the Mets are coming back to Seattle here. I'll be working Wednesday's game. Maybe I'll run into Keith again.
Probably not. He doesn't really do those East Coast or those West Coast trips unless it's to the Bay Area.
I did run into him once, and I still haven't told that story.
Yeah, well, I backed up to him once and said something that I shouldn't have. So. Mark, we talked about Cal Raleigh, big dumper, how he broke out of his slump a while ago.
That's right.
Just to go land on the IL. But Jazz Chisholm needed some help, too, recently. Slumping a little bit for the Yankees. But instead of showering in his jersey like Dumper did, Jazz decided to go another direction. And he decided to wear somebody else's pants. Which I guess is better than wearing somebody else's, like, gold thong. Or
We're talking about baseball pants, right?
Baseball pants, yes.
Good thing, okay.
All right, so Jazz is listed at 5'11", 184 pounds, which is probably pretty much on because everybody, you know, had to get remeasured for the ABS. Well, he decided to wear Giancarlo Stanton's pants.
Okay.
So again, 5'11", 184 pounds is Jazz Chisholm. Giancarlo, I almost called him Mike. His stats, he's 6'6", 245 pounds. So there's a little bit of a discrepancy there. That's a half a foot and almost 100 pounds. It makes Manny Ramirez jerseys, the way he used to wear them, look like Olympic cycling Lycra suits, you know, like that skin tight stuff. Because this is baggy. Manny was always baggy, but these pants are very baggy.
Yeah.
But it worked. He started hitting. I think it just takes your mind off of things. You're like, wow, look, I'm doing this. This is what's going to happen. And then you just start hitting. I was watching when the Yankees played the Mets and noticed that Jazz had a very unique arm sleeve on. It looked like the upholstery from everybody's grandmother's sofa when you were growing up.
Nice.
And I didn't hate it. I honestly thought it looked really cool. I couldn't take my eyes off it. But it looked like a real old-time sofa. It was probably covered with plastic if it was your grandma. Didn't want you to sit on it because you're a dirty, dirty little kid. But it was very cool. I was hoping that would have broken his slump other than the pants. But I don't know if he's still wearing the big pants or not. I don't watch the Yankees. Let's see, Mark, every possible three-team combination that you can think of in the big leagues, there has been at least one player who has played for all three of those teams.
No kidding.
Except for one. Nobody has ever in the history of baseball played for the Marlins, the Cardinals, and the Twins during their career.
No kidding.
No, nobody has ever done it. A couple of guys, Marlins, Cardinals, that are still around. These are guys that are playing today, so it could happen to one of these guys. George Soriano, Marcelo Zuna, and Sandy Alcantara. They've played for the Marlins and the Cardinals. Okay. The Marlins and the Twins, we've got Josh Bell, Tristan Gray, Pablo Lopez, Johnny Pereda, Luis Ariz, Sandy Leon, and Chris Paddock. Okay.
Wow, okay.
And then for the Cardinals and the Twins, Harrison Bader and Matt Bowman. So if any of those guys land on one of those other teams, we could have a first, the last of its kind until there is expansion.
Wow. Now, see, where else are you going to hear about something that bizarre?
Well, Reddit. I mean, I got that straight from Reddit.
Of course, but
you didn't hear it there. You heard it here. Yeah. But, and I don't know, they might have heard it from Effectively Wild or somebody that like does the research. I don't know. But there you go. Be on the lookout for those guys. They have played they have the chance to be a first in Major League Baseball. I just wanted to mention this real quick, our last segment here in BP. Paul O'Neill and Bernie Williams. Now, we mentioned them quite a bit because they both appeared on Seinfeld.
Yes.
We're fans of that kind of stuff. Did you know that they also both appeared on episodes of NCIS New Orleans?
No, that I did not know.
Now, and get this, separate episodes.
Weird.
Not the same episode. Also, Javi Lopez has appeared in NCIS New Orleans as well.
I think we got a baseball fan in there somewhere.
I think so, too. It is the only NCIS franchise that a baseball player has appeared on. And all three of them, they're 3 separate episodes. So what's going on down there in New Orleans?
Yeah, come on, NCIS. Tell us, who is it? Who's the
This
fan?
seems like it might be a conspiracy they need to be looking into. I don't know where other NCISs take place. I don't think I've ever seen an episode. But
I tell you what, whoever it is bringing in these ball players for NCIS New Orleans, let me know and I will send you one of my acting resumes. Thank you.
if you need a homeless person
I have got
or a
that
pirate,
down.
I think you or a scoreboard operator.
Yeah,
That's
that too.
Yeah.
Mad scientist.
Pirate. Mark, let's let the grounds a scientist.
Mad scientist.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say let's tone it down a little bit there.
I mean, you know that's acting, right? You don't actually have to have the scientific knowledge.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. A scientist that's maybe been hidden away in a shack in the mountains for a while, so he's not distracted.
Yeah.
Yeah, little Ted Kaczynski like.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right, let's let the grounds crew come out and do their stuff, getting this field ready. Because Mark, got a story this year. Mark, I've got a story this week. I'm excited to talk about. Well, I'm kind of excited to talk about. I don't like this person. It happened in 1988. We'll just get into it and you'll see why. It's kind of a weird topic for me to cover, but I am calling it Year of the Pitcher Part 2. Just like Hot Shots Part 2. Yeah.
Yes.
That's my take here. All right. So Bob Gibson in the Year of the Pitcher, of course, that was a thing in 1968. Mark, you were like in high school during Bob Gibson's Year of the Pitcher.
I was not even born. Stop it.
I was I was a mere freshman when the Year of the Pitcher Part 2 came along, because I am dubbing 1988 as the Year of the Pitcher.
Yeah.
Probably riding a wave of enthusiasm because everybody's Topps cards looked great from, 87. Mm-hmm. Wood border. Pitchers dominated batters. Base runners, though, a little bit less, because as good as the pitching was in 1988, that was also, if you remember, the year of the balk.
Oh, yeah.
Bob Davidson's opus is
Balk
upon
and
us.
Bob. Yes.
Yeah, what a time to be a baseball fan. Little did we know the end of the year would lead to such a disappointing World Series, but
That's a fact.
I mean, it was a great World Series, just not one I like to talk about. So I'm really here. I'm going to be just talking about one player. It's a player I don't like. If this subject were a social media post, for example, the star of our episode this week is specifically from the National League, the Dodgers. It's Orel Hershiser, the Rat.
Nice.
Boo. But Danny Jackson of the Reds and David Cohn of the Mets should also get credit, but they're like in small print at the bottom of the post, partially obscured by the DraftKings logo, because I just assume everything has DraftKings logo or some sort of betting logo on it at this point.
Nowadays, absolutely.
Yeah. Following a year in which a closer won the Cy Young in the National League the year before, that was Bedrock, Steve Bedrosian. Starters were looking to reclaim that award. Coming into spring training, Orel Hershiser said he started to feel sick about a week before pitchers and catchers reported when he was playing golf, and it was discovered that he needed an emergency appendectomy. Even his appendix wanted nothing to do with him. He's like, I'm out. Well, eventually he was out. I'm assuming his appendix is a he because he's a he. I don't want to.
Right. That's a good point. Yeah.
I'll just say it.
Yeah.
The Dodgers were planning to hold him back a bit during spring training. He just had an appendix removed. But instead of let him go through But instead, they let him go through as normally as he said he was fine. Day one, he's tough. Probably just wanted to shut him up. probably carrying around his appendix in a jar, showing everybody.
I would.
They're like, just go, get out, go
I don't
throw.
know what an appendix looks like. I'd want mine back, just for viewing purposes.
Oh, yeah, I just assume it looks like a kidney, but I don't think it does.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't have an appendix-shaped pool. You have a kidney-shaped pool.
With
so I
a
don't
stone
think
in it. Yeah.
Yeah, little ones at the bottom that hurt. Yeah,
That's a Dr. Vinny Boombots joke, if anybody cares. Go ahead.
I don't know who that is. So
Yes, it's in relation to Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh, okay. Well, I hate to admit it, Mark, but I think this sounds pretty hardcore that he had an appendix removed and he's ready to go almost immediately.
That's impressive.
He had part of his insides taken out and he goes out there and he's like, I'm good. Well, that's how the season started. He finished the season also in an admittingly hardcore way with a record 59 consecutive scoreless innings pitched, breaking the mark of 58 2/3 held by former Dodger Don Drysdale. The 1987 Dodgers were not great. They finished 16 games under 500. Orel had a 16-16 mark, which is pretty impressive on a team that finised 16 games under 500.
That's a lot of decisions, man.
Yeah,
it just shows you they left him out there.
Yeah. a lot of times I said 16 too in the opening sentence to that paragraph. Just noted that. Obviously the 88 Dodgers were a bit better, but when Orel was on the bump in 88, they did not score a lot. 17 of his 33 starts, the Dodgers provided him with 3 runs or less of run support. That's like Felix type.
Yes, it's definitely King Felix issue.
Heading into a start August 30th, so we're jumping to the end of the season against the Expos. Hershiser had complete games in his previous 2 starts. At Olympic Stadium, he threw another complete game, finishing with 4 shutout innings for the win under the bright lights of l'Estadio Olympique. The Dodgers were 6.5 games up on the Astros entering that final month of the season. Orel had a 17-8 mark entering that game. He was in the race for the Cy Young against the aforementioned Danny Jackson and David Cone. The Reds were chasing the Dodgers, but they're frankly out of it at this point, and the Mets were leading the East by a healthy amount behind their ace, David Cone. The win for Hershiser was his 3rd consecutive complete game, as I mentioned, and his 10th complete game of the season thus far. You know how when players lose weight from one season to another, they're like, oh, I came in lighter this season and it really helped, right? Yes. You're like, I had more stamina. Well, remember, Orel's lighter than he used to be. He's an appendix less.
That's an easy way to lose weight. Have an organ removed.
Yeah, so I think that might have something to do with it here. Good win against the 500 Expos at this point by the team's ace. That's what they're supposed to do. His next start is against Atlanta. Glavine and Smoltz are actually on this Atlanta team, but they're 21 and 22 years old. This is like the last gasps of the Zane Smith, Rick Mahler, Pete Smith Braves, right?
Yes.
Again, Orel is pushing on the mound in this game. Another complete game shutout. He only gave it 4 hits, struck out 8, walked 1. Struck out Dale Murphy 4 times. Yeah. So that is 13-inning scoreless streak. Great game, but nobody is thinking really about a scoreless inning streak at this point, let alone Don Drysdale's mark of 58 2/3. That's crazy talk.
Yeah.
Also, though, it should be noted, Don Drysdale was working for the Dodgers on TV and radio at this point. So it will inevitably be brought up quite often. So next start for Orel is against the Cincinnati Reds at Dodger Stadium. And again, a complete game shutty, 7 hits, 8 punches. This guy is on fire. Still, nobody probably asking Don about this yet. That win bumps Orel's mark to 20-8 on the season. He's clearly the leading. Well, I don't say clearly, but he is, again, a candidate, a strong candidate for the Cy Young, sporting a 2.62 ERA. Houston is still hanging around in the West. They've usurped the Reds, but Orel's push for the Cy is getting more headlines than any sort of, National League West race at this point. It's the Dodgers have pretty much wrapped it up. Next start is the Braves again, this time in LA. Second verse, much like the first. Another gem by Orel, complete game. 6th complete game in a row.
Wow.
Another shutout, 6 hits, 8 Ks. So now he is up to 31 scoreless innings. So that's a little bit more than half of Drysdale's streak. But come on, I mean, it's still a ways away. He's just not going to be able to keep this up, right? Clearly.
No way.
We know he's just no way. So his next start is September 19th against the Astros. The West, not in question. They've got a 10-game lead over second place now. It's still a big game, though, for a pitcher competing for the Cy Young, trying to get that home field advantage for the NLCS. I don't remember if that was a thing in 88 or did they just like rotate? I don't remember.
I think it was rotating back then.
But still, it's a big game. It's against the Astros. This also, Nolan Ryan's final start for the Astros. Threw that in there just for you.
Yes.
But there was a wrinkle. Always a wrinkle. That day, Hershiser's 4-day-old son, Jordan, was suffering from fluid backup in his lungs and was admitted to a Pasadena hospital. You would think maybe push him back a day, skip a spot in the rotation. You know, West is wrapped up. His kid, 4-day-old kid, is in the hospital. Nope. I have to assume Orel was in on the decision-making here, but he took the mound that night and ended up with this.
2-1. Popped in the air, foul, and Socia has a play. All alone. He's got it, and Hershiser has his 22nd win, his 4th consecutive shutout. He has a string of 40 consecutive scoreless innings.
All right. Vin pretty much said it all there. Shuts him out 1-0. Again, 1 run of support. He's not buying dinner for anybody. Maybe the catcher. maybe Socia. That's about it.
Yeah.
4 hits, 5 Ks, 40 consecutive scoreless innings. Now is the time Don Drysdale's probably getting a lot of questions about his streak.
Right.
You know who wasn't tired or, more importantly, afraid to talk about this streak? Because baseball players are very superstitious. We've covered this many times. But you know who wasn't afraid of stition or being superstitious was Orel himself. His teammates didn't want to talk about the streak to him, to anybody. They would, if somebody asked a question, like the locker room would empty out. Drysdale himself also tried to avoid bringing it up. I mean, he's a baseball player. He doesn't want to jinx him. Hershiser, though, like I said, not the least bit stitious at all. When asked about it, he said, "I'm pretty loosey-goosey about it. I talk about it all the time," end quote. And I really hope he got fined in kangaroo court for saying loosey-goosey during an interview.
Yeah, I put that one away.
Yeah, you will never hear that word beyond Orel Hershiser, a quote on this podcast. You would you think maybe, Mark, that before his starts, every start at this point, the relievers are just hanging out at like Chateau Marmont until 5 a.m. with Guns N' Roses and River Phoenix.
Yeah.
I tried to think of the most cool thing you could do in 1980.
Yeah,
Axl Rose is like, "Hey, don't you guys have a game tomorrow?" And they just shrug their shoulders and order another round. Because there's just no use for a reliever at this point when Orel is starting a game. Orel's next start is somehow only 4 days away. 4 days away.
Wow.
Division's wrapped up. Hey, let's let our ace go on 3 days rest after 4 complete games.
Wow, you wouldn't see that today.
No, but this was the only thing I could think of, is that maybe they were setting up their rotation for the NLCS to get him on track to pitch game number 1 on regular rest.
Yeah, maybe.
That's my only thought. But, you know, Tommy Lasorda, he's a genius. He was stopped on his way to the stadium in full uniform, wearing a Fernando Valenzuela jacket by Officer Frank Poncherello and his partner, not John Baker.
Could happen.
I don't know. I can't be certain about that one. But Tommy, like I said, he's a smart guy, or at least he looked like one after this move. Another complete game, plus a shutout. I mean, not a lot of suspense there. We know where this is heading. Giants go down 3-0, 9 innings, complete game, no runs, 5 hits, 2 strikeouts, and his 8th complete game in a row. Incredible.
Wow.
There is a bit of controversy in this game, though, that helped Orel maintain his streak. During the 3rd inning, Jose Uribe and Atlee Hammaker got on base with consecutive singles. That's dangerous when you're giving up a single to Atlee Hammaker.
Yes. Yeah, that didn't happen a lot.
No.
Yeah.
No, not a lot. So to the plate comes Ernie Riles, or maybe it's Ernest at this point, not sure which one. And then this went down.
Sacked. Goes to Griffin for one. They throw it away. Uribe scores. To second base is Ernie Riles. And the Giants take a 1-0 lead. And they call the interference play, and the inning is over. The inning is over, and take the run away, and the scoreless inning streak is still alive. And it get over.
So Riles hits a ground ball. Brett Butler's pinch running for Atlee Hammaker. It's shocking. Why wouldn't you have just pinch hit for Atlee Hammaker if you're going to pinch run for him if he gets on? I don't know. But Brett Butler, who's a great pinch runner, obviously, and Dodgers shortstop Alfredo Griffin. Butler slides trying to break up the double play, causing Griffin to throw the ball away, breaking up the double play. Now, the Giants scoreboard operator quickly posted a run on the scoreboard when Uribe crossed the plate, thinking they had all the power and had made the call. God complex, these scoreboard operators.
Yeah, they just, there's something not right with them.
Yeah. However, umpire Bob Engel ruled that Butler had interfered with Griffin's relay throw, called it. The batter is automatically out. It's a double play, inning over. Orel's out of the inning, no runs scored. The streak continues beyond 42 innings. Coincidentally, Don Drysdale had the exact same thing happen to him during his streak that got him out of a jam as well.
That's really weird.
Yeah. Watching the play, it's clearly interference, too. Butler was like sliding into right center field, right? At that point, you were supposed to be able to touch the base at some point during your slide to make it legal. He couldn't have touched second base with Eric Gregg's strike zone from the 97 NLCS. I mean, he is so far away from the bag, it wasn't close. It was the right call. So, September 28th, final start of the year for Orel. It's against the Padres. The game is meaningless to Los Angeles. The Mets have already clinched the National League's best record, if that is a thing for the NLCS. But the Dodgers have punched their ticket to the NLCS, so they're there. Orel, though, is just dotting the corners in this game. He is just on. So much so that he doesn't allow a Padre to cross the plate in 10 innings. 10 innings!
Wow. That's insane.
Hershiser ready, and the 1-2 pitch is swung on, a fly ball to right. Gonzalez backs up, he's got it, and Hershiser has the record.
Yes, he's got the record. It's his 9th consecutive game as well of 9 or more innings. But they're playing in the 10th because his teammates probably were at Chateau Marmont the night before because the Dodgers haven't scored a single run and it's 0-0. Andy Hawkins matches Orel. He goes 10 scoreless on his own. Both allowed only 4 hits apiece. The game ends up going 16 innings because nobody could score. Dodgers put a run across in the top of the 16th. And then with 2 outs in the bottom, my boy Carmelo Martinez starts a rally with a walk. 2 outs. For some reason, he's not pinch run for. Head scratcher there. But this is 1988 in September. Both teams have like 80 players in their dugouts too. Yeah. I don't know why you wouldn't pinch run for Carmelo. Not a blazer on the base paths. Ricky Horton gives up a walk-off 2-run homer to Mark Parent. No decision for Orel, and the end of his complete game streak on a technicality.
Ouch.
Everybody should have bought him a steak dinner after that one.
No doubt. That's rough.
Yeah, but the record was broken. He pitched 10 shutout innings, 116 pitches in the final game of the season. Orel shut the Mets down in game 1 of the NLCS for 8 innings. For 8 1/3 innings before finally giving up a run. Doubles by Darryl Strawberry and Gary Carter ended his consecutive innings scoreless streak. Kind of. This is the postseason, so streaks don't continue into the postseason. Technically, it ended in the last start at 59 innings. Well, it didn't end, but it's kind of paused beating Drysdale's 58 2/3. The next season, though, purists would never let it stand if he went too long. They'd want an asterisk because it was separated by the offseason. But Orel took the mound on opening day against the Reds, still back when the Reds played the very first game. And Marge shot, no doubt, putting out cigarettes on small children's heads in the stands.
Blinking around, being Marge shot.
Yeah. He's ready to continue the streak against the Reds. With 2 outs in the bottom of the first, Orel had let Barry Larkin get on base, and he picked him off at first, but he threw the ball away for an error that let Larkin get to second. He then struck out the next 2 batters before the zinger. Todd Mercedes-Benzinger singled home Larkin, officially ending the streak at 59 2/3 innings. Wow.
Not bad.
Yeah. Just how dominant was Orel during this streak? Although 41 of the 59 scoreless innings came on the road, Dodger Stadium, traditionally a pitcher-friendly park, so he was doing this away from Dodger Stadium. He lowered his ERA from 2.9 to 2.26. That's a big drop that late in the season.
No
because
kidding.
He's got a lot of innings, too, under his belt. Dodgers scored only 13 runs during Hershiser's 59
That's
scoreless
terrifying.
streak. That's embarrassing, is what that is. Overall, opposing hitters went 0 for 9 with a runner on third and 0 for 31 with runners in scoring position.
That's insane.
Yeah, that is.
Wow.
Orel swept the Cy Young voting, beating out Danny Jackson, who had an incredible year. Their numbers were almost exactly the same, but Orel's scoreless inning streak and heading to the playoffs, all the notoriety, there was no doubt he was going to win it. But Danny Jackson had an incredible year. David Cohn actually had a lower ERA for what that's worth, and he only lost 3 games the entire year. Again, 2 stats that we put a little bit less weight on in today's baseball, but a great year by Cohn and Jackson, but just overshadowed. Orel came in 6th in the MVP voting, losing to teammate Kurt Gibson, who did nothing of note in the 1988 World Series. Nothing. I mentioned 88 was the year of the Bach. Orel had 5. Danny Jackson had 2. David Cohn had 10. And he still had that low ERA and only lost 3. During Hershiser's streak, he posted 59 innings pitched, of course, no runs, only gave up 31 hits, struck out 38, only walked 10, only allowed 3 extra base hits. While Drysdale, when he posted his record, 28 hits, 45 strikeouts, 10 walks, and 3 extra base hits. So very similar numbers.
Yeah, definitely.
Drysdale struck out a little bit more and gave up just 3 fewer hits, but very close. Couple of notes here. The Dodgers TV station KTTV did not broadcast the September 26th game when the Dodgers clinched the National League West, or the September 28th game when Hershiser set the record. Wouldn't you just, as an emergency broadcast, say this is a big record? One of our guys holds it. He'll be doing the game, by the way, with Vin Scully. And one of our other guys is on the mound trying to break it. But no. Instead, they aired Friday the 13th and the Fun House. I don't know what the Fun House is. Friday the 13th. Was this a horror block on KTTV?
Yeah.
Or, well, I don't know. The record-setting game, in fact, only drew 22,000 fans at Dodger Stadium.
That sucks.
Fans left the game early, got there late, most probably. That's the last time I'll say that. That's such a stereotype.
It's cliche.
It's very cliche. Also of note, Hershiser had pitched 33 2/3 scoreless innings consecutively in 1984 as well. So he had done this before. The closest challenge to Orel's mark since then came from Brandon Webb, Diamondbacks 2007. He pitched 42 consecutive innings. I have no recollection of that. Greg Maddux and Kenny Rogers both had 39 inning scoreless streaks, of which I don't remember. 2014, Dodgers Clayton Kershaw pitched 41 consecutive scoreless innings. And in 2015, another Dodger, Zach Greinke, pitched 45 2/3 scoreless innings.
Man, that's just being on for a long time.
For a month, yeah. It ended in 2022. Diamondbacks pitcher Zach Gallen threw 44 1/3.
One of my favorites. I love Zach Gallen.
He was really good for a while. I think he's disappeared now, right? He's still. Maybe he's just hurt. I
wouldn't say disappeared, but he's
not a Cy Young
voting lately.
Yeah, he's not a Cy Young caliber anymore. Maybe all of these were in the middle of the season and not down the stretch, which is why I don't remember them as much.
Sure.
But now I should mention that as of right now, we are recording on May 29th. Christopher Sanchez of the Phillies has a current 44 2/3 inning scoreless inning streak.
Yes.
He has not given up a run the entire month of May. The last time he gave up a run was the first game of a doubleheader on April 30th against the Giants. And he gave that up in the first inning of that game. He went 6 2/3. So you got to tack that onto it. In that time, let's see, he's thrown one complete game this year. But in this streak, he's gone 8, 7, 9, 8, and 7. So he is going deep in these games.
Absolutely.
Very, very impressive. I'm watching it. I'm paying attention to it because of this story, obviously.
Yeah.
So how did the Year of the Pitcher Part D compare to the original? Well, if I'm being honest here, it's nowhere close. Orel, let's look at WAR. He had a 7.2, which led the league in WAR in 88. Gibby in 1968 had an 11.2 WAR to lead the league. Orel went 23 8. Gibson 22 9, so very similar. Orel had a 2.26 ERA. You're like, wow, that's great. Yeah. Remember, Gibson had a 1.12 ERA. That is more than a run less for an ERA. See, complete games, Orel had 15, which just boggles my mind until you realize Gibson had 28.
That's ridiculous.
Orel had 8 shutouts. Mind boggled. Gibson, 13.
Goodness gracious.
Orel did get a save in this, season. Orel pitched 267 innings. Gibson 304. Gibson pitched that's like 35 more innings. Gave up fewer hits than Hershiser did. Strikeouts, obviously, it's not going to be close. 268 for Bob Gibson, 178 for Orel. Gibson, shockingly enough, only hit 7 batters. Probably 6 of them on purpose.
Yeah.
Orel hit 4. Orel walked 73. Again, Gibson pitched more innings and walked fewer. He walked 62. The whip, though, for these guys is incredible. Orel, 1.05 whip for a starter. That's incredible. Gibson, 0.85.
That's just nuts.
That's nuts. And of course, Gibson changed the game.
Dominant. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, this was it. We've talked about it how many times. They changed the rules after this because of Bob Gibson.
That's right.
Gibby also won the MVP. I mentioned Orel came in 6th with Kurt Gibson winning it overall. But that is what I am calling the Year of the Pitcher, Part D. The American League was impressive, but nowhere near as close as these feats.
That takes me back to some memories, man.
Yeah, the World Series, not so great memories for me.
Not me neither. You got to remember, I was.
You were for the Tigers, yeah.
Very nice, Jeff.
All right, let's see. Producer Mitch is smoking a cigarette. He's got a drink in one hand. He's in the tarps off section, which I'm trying to shade my eyes from it. Very pale individual as well, so it's a little bright. But he's motioning very nonchalantly. He's kind of given up.
Yeah.
That we need to go on to our final segment. So it is time for our final segment. It's time for Wax Pack Heroes.
Wax Pack Hero! podcast tonight.
Hello again, friends. It's time for another installment of Wax Pack's Heroes. Before we can start, though, let's go over the rules. Mark and Jeff are going to play an old-fashioned game of war, except this is more like baseball reference war. They'll each get one card and will score the baseball reference war of the year of the card. But wait, they can add or subtract points depending on certain aspects of the card and the player's season. Any 80s baseball aesthetics the card displays will earn an extra 1/10 of a point. Or if they don't like something, like 2-in-1 stirrups, they can subtract a 1/10 of a point as well. Also, if the player won any awards that season, they get a 1/2 a point for each. If the player led the league in any categories, they'll get a 1/10 of a point for each positive category, but minus 1/2 a point for each negative one. If there's a Hall of Famer anywhere on the card, that's a whole extra point. If the player had a Costacos Brothers poster made of them, they get a 1/2 a point for that. If Ricky Henderson or Nolan Ryan get pulled, the round is over. Jeff automatically wins if either pulls a Ricky card, and Mark wins if Nolan is pulled. If the player has any pop culture references, they get a 1/2 a point, unless they appeared on Seinfeld, The Simpsons, or Sabrina the Teenage Witch. That, friends, is a whole point for each. If the player was suspended for off-the-field mischief during their career or are on the 2SN, don't talk about list, that's a minus a 1/2 and a whole point respectively. So with that out of the way, it's time to play Wax Pack Heroes.
Thank you, Vin. Well, R.I.P. Vin, but God, we got that in there. All right, it is time. Now, as we mentioned, Mark, we have a very special set of cards for our Wax Pack today, sent in by a listener.
1972 tops. Pretty cool looking. They got like those marquee type letters on them. You know, like they're pointing out like it's a marquee.
Yeah, like a optical illusion to see what it is like.
Exactly.
They're not sport flicks, but these are 1972 tops. I think this might be the oldest set we've addressed here before.
We'll see. So, yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes. These are physical cards, and you have them in your hot little hands. So since I can't see them, I am going to choose whether to go first or second, and I choose to go second. So there we go.
Okay.
All right. Just to look at the scoreboard really quick, by the way, it is 11-9. I am on top by 2 at this point, and I have a little bit of a hot streak going here. So, all right. What's your first card, sir?
First card for the Rangers, the one and only Bill Gogolewski. That's
Bill. How do you spell that last name?
Gogo, Gogolewski. Gogolewski, I think.
I have never heard of Bill Gogolewski. Yeah. Overall, 6 years in the big leagues. See, Texas for 4, and then the White Sox in Cleveland. 1972, not a great year for him. 4-11 mark with a 4.24 ERA. Let's see, he appeared in 36 games, started 21 of them, completed 2 complete games, 1 shutout, 2 saves, 150 and 2/3 innings pitched, only gave up 136 hits, struck out 95 for an ERA plus of 71 and a WAR of exactly 0.
Well, that gives me a chance.
Is there anything on that card that's going to help you or hurt? You probably know 2-in-1s.
No, I do see stirrups.
All right. Well, there's
very
good.
Nice.
I'm guessing if you can see their feet, you're going to get stirrup bonus for every one of these.
He's got the Rangers red stirrups going on, and he's in a pose like he just threw a pitch, but he's not standing on the mound, so he apparently didn't.
All right. Surprisingly enough, no pop culture references for Bill.
Except for that whole Google website. Oh, that's Google. Never mind.
Yes, they just swapped the second G and O around.
They did.
It would have been Googleowski, but no. All right, so you're at a 0.1. All right. Sounds like one of my scores. What's my card looking like?
You've got a Yankees pitcher, Rob Gardner.
I know Rob from starting 9 on our streams. I know Rob Gardner. We've had him recently. Let's see. Rob Gardner, 8 years in the big leagues. Yankees for 3, Mets for 2, Oakland for 2, Chicago Cubs, Milwaukee Brewers, and Cleveland as well. 1972 with the Yankees, he went 8-5 with a 3.06 ERA. Started 14 games, only 97 innings, gave up 91 hits, 58 strikeouts, a 97 ERA plus, and a WAR of exactly 0.
Oh, no.
Are these all 0 WAR cards? Is that
I don't think so.
a thing? Let's see here. He was traded a lot during his career.
He might be a good one to remember for the games that we play, or that you play on the...
Maybe for grid. Seems like a good grid guy.
Yeah.
Similarity scores. Ryan Roland Smith. Hyphen. There you go. Was once traded for Felipe Alou. I always just call him Felipe. And then was later traded for Matty Alou. He's got all of his Alou bases covered.
That's funny. Weird.
Worked as a fireman and paramedic after playing baseball, passed away in 2023.
Okay. Well, I'm looking at the card, Jeff. I don't see anything that's going to help you. There's no sunglasses. It's just the upper half, so we can't see if he's got any stirrups.
Son of a gun. No mustache.
No, he's clean shaven Yankee.
All right. Well, you win round 1. Congratulations.
Wow. With Fred Google.
Yep, Google Meister.
That's right.
All right. Your next card.
All right, this is a good-looking card. Looking up at a guy with a really close to his face, making him look chubby. Ron Swoboda.
Oh.
We know Ron Swoboda very well.
Ron Swoboda, Mets legend Ron Swoboda.
That's right.
Nickname Rocky. Overall, 9 years in the big league, 6 with the Mets, 3 with the Yankees, 1 with Montreal. In 1972, this is toward the end of his career with the Yankees, 63 games. He hit 248, 341 on base, 345 slug for a 108 OPS plus, 1 home run, 12 ribs, and a .4 WAR.
Okay, it's better than my last one.
Let's see here. No real transactions to work off of. What's on the card? What's he looking like?
It's just a super duper high close up.
You said close up, yeah.
Yeah, you can't see anything. He's got his number written on the bottom of his cap, and he's a Yankee, so he's clean shaven.
All right, well, definite pop culture reference here. This is very interesting. He was selected to the 1965 Topps All-Star Rookie Team. His 1966 Topps baseball card had the gold trophy symbol. In a 66 movie called Penelope, Natalie Wood, who is playing the title character, opens a pack of 66 Topps baseball cards, sees Swoboda's rookie card, and asks Police Lieutenant Horatio Bixby, who was played by Peter Falk, who's Ron Swoboda?
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
That is definite pop culture reference, though. I mean, that is a very big one.
Who'd have thunk it?
He is mentioned in the 1987 song called Stephen Edie by Dramarama.
Dramarama?
Yeah.
Oh, I know Dramarama.
We've talked about that before.
You know who Stephen Edie are?
Yeah, Stephen Edie Gourmet,
That's
right?
Steve Lawrence and Edie Gourmet.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Appeared as himself in an episode of Everyone Loves Raymond, along with several other members of the 69 Mets, and was referenced by Homer Simpson in the Money Bart episode.
Huh.
Wow, I'm gonna have to put him. I got to put him in the database because that's a lot of
man. That's some serious pop culture.
Yeah, you only get one go at it. You know, a half a point for it, but that's some street cred there for Ron Swoboda and the pop culture stuff.
I think I remember Dramarama's hit.
Well, we've talked about that song before, Stephen Edie. So we've talked about Ron Swoboda before. Yes. What was their hit that you think you remember?
Anything?
I think so. Your rendition is what sparked the
there you go.
the memory, but yeah, I think I do. Yeah. All right, so you've got 0.9 for Ron Swoboda. What do I got?
You have got a shot here. Oakland A's, Tommy Davis.
Didn't he? He's half of the team that invented the high five. Him and Dusty Baker.
So yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. Tommy Davis Long career, 18 years. Wow. You want a grid guy? Listen to this.
Yeah.
Dodgers for 8. Then we've got Baltimore, Oakland, Houston, the Cubs, the Mets, the White Sox. Is that the Seattle Pilots? Yeah. Seattle Pilots,
Yes.
California Angels, and the Kansas City Royals. Wow.
Wow.
72, he split time between the Cubs and the Orioles. Not well. He split time, though. Overall, 41 games, hit 259, 310 on base, 296 slug, a 76 OPS plus, no home runs, 12 ribs, a minus .1 WAR. Let's see here. In all of those years, he was traded quite a bit. Not really for any... Well, Elrod Hendricks is the only name here that stands out as being really somebody we would have talked about before. Oh, Tommy Agee when he was traded to the White Sox. But that's about it.
Yeah.
Anything on the card going to help me out?
No, it's just an upper half. He's clean shaven, no glasses. So, yeah, nothing there.
See here, a long jumper on the high school's track and field team. Considered signing with the Yankees, but received a phone call from Jackie Robinson, who convinced him to sign with the Dodgers instead.
Wow. Yeah, that could convince me too, a call from Jackie.
It's got to be a good phone call. Hey, it's Jackie Robinson.
Yeah, no doubt.
Let's see, on the Pilots too. I mean, that's enough of the thing. Featured heavily in Jim Bouton's book, Ball 4. He's a teammate in both Seattle and Houston.
Okay.
Retired from baseball. He expressed resentment for his numerous moves, saying, "I'm very bitter as hell. Why do I keep getting released? Don't ask me no reason why." He said he had a reputation of being lazy.
Okay.
He would go into the clubhouse to read and even shave between at-bats as the DH.
Oh, geez.
I mean, what else you got to do?
Well, that's true. There's nothing for you to do.
Yeah. Died, passed away in 2022. Nothing else of note there. So that's going to go to you. You're up 2-0. Come on, boys.
Uh-oh. All right.
All right. Your next card.
We have A's legend, Dave Duncan.
Oh, all right. I think of him more as a legend as a coach for Oakland than as a player. Exactly. He did play for 11 years in the big leagues. Oakland, well, at least the Athletics. He played 1 year in Kansas City with the Athletics for 7, and then Cleveland and Baltimore for 2. Just missed his All-Star year of 71. 1972, appeared in 121 games as a catcher. Hit 218, 283 on base, 392 slug for 105 OPS plus. He had 19 homers, 59 ribs, and a 2.8 WAR.
Oh, wow.
Pretty good. I'm guessing he had a mustache?
No,
he wasn't growing it out for that bonus.
I guess not. No mustache, no glasses, and you can't see his feet. So no stirrups either.
All right. He was traded with George Hendrick by the A's to Cleveland for Ray Fosse.
Oh, wow.
That's how Fosse came to Oakland. And then he was also traded by Cleveland to Baltimore for Boog Powell.
Oh, wow. Some big
So
names.
those are some big names there. Obviously went on to have quite a coaching career with Tony La Russa, both in Chicago, Oakland, and St. Louis. Had a 5 RBI game, including a 3-run home run and a bases-loaded walk. So he's got that. 6 home run games, 1 5-hit game. He had a pretty decent playing career. We know Chris Duncan. He played for the Cardinals for a couple of years. Chris Duncan passed away. I remember that in 2019.
Yeah.
His older son, Shelly Duncan, also played in the big leagues.
Shelly Duncan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he played for the Yankees, Cleveland, and Tampa in the big leagues.
Had that little lamb chop puppet.
That's definitely him. Yeah, nothing else there. So that's going to be a 2.8 for Dave Duncan.
I like that. And
yeah,
you've got someone for the Phillies, a pitcher that you have heard of, Mr. Rick Wise.
Oh, let's see here. Rick had an 18-year career in the big leagues. 7 for the Phillies, 4 with Boston, 3 with the Dads, 2 with St. Louis and Cleveland. Now, he had 2 All-Star years. They're sandwiched But 72 is sandwiched between his two All-Star years. He went 16-16 with a 3.11. I'm not going to say 3.11 because that's an awful band. A 3.11 ERA. 269 innings pitched, 250 hits allowed, 142 Ks, a 110 ERA plus for a WAR of 5.0.
Wow.
I like it. I don't think he's on the Mitchell report either. So
no, I don't think so.
Was traded by the Phillies to St. Louis for Steve Carlton. Oh, that worked out. Yeah. Also traded by the Red Sox to Cleveland for Dennis Eckersley and Fred Kendall.
Phew. Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, a good pitcher, and he was traded for some other good talent.
Obviously.
All right. So a 5.0. Anything on the card going to hurt or help me?
Yeah. You know, I like this card because he's in the fake pitching position as if he just released the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But both feet on the ground and three guys loitering behind him. The same team. So, you do get stirrup points, though. Yes.
I'll take it. That's a 5.1 for me.
Yep, and that's it.
Had a no-hitter in the first game of a doubleheader against the Brewers when George Scott homered off him with 2 outs in the 9th to break it up. Would have also had a no-hitter earlier, would have joined Cy Young and Jim Bunning as pitchers who hurled no-hitters in both leagues. Nolan Ryan, Hideo Nomo, and Randy Johnson have done it since.
Interesting note on the back of his card, Rick became the first hurler to ever hit 2 home runs while hurling a no-hitter when he did it against the Reds in 71.
There you go.
That's a heck of a day.
Heck of a day. I like it. Rick Weiss gets me a win, puts me on the board.
There you go.
All right, you're up 2-1.
All right, and my card is pitcher for the Cubs, Juan Pizarro. This guy pitched forever. Pizarro.
Juan Pizarro. It's a fun name to say.
It is.
Nicknamed Terran. Must mean something in some Hispanic language. Let's see. 18 years in the big leagues. He's a grid guy. Oh, yeah. White Sox, Milwaukee, the Cubs, Pittsburgh, Boston, Cleveland, Houston, Oakland. All these guys in the 70s, they played in Oakland for a little bit, just like everybody in the 80s and 90s played in Seattle.
Yes.
Let's see. 1972, he was 35 years old. Went 4-5 with a 3.94 ERA. 59 and a third innings, 24 strikeouts, a 96 ERA plus, and a WAR of a positive 0.5. Anything on this card going to help you out?
No, nothing at all. He's got his arms raised up in the air like he's winding up, but it's a fake picture. So because he's standing right next to him.
Okay.
So
was traded once for Wilbur Wood. That's how Wilbur Wood was sent to the White Sox. Also traded with Ken Harrelson from the Red Sox to Cleveland. Yeah, let's see what else we got here. Terran. I don't know what that means, but he's from Puerto Rico, so
okay.
Still don't know what it means. I don't know why that would help me. I already said it was a Hispanic nickname, and I don't know what it means, and I'm not going to look it up because I am looking at his other stats right now. Puerto Rico Hall of Fame, Puerto Rican Baseball Hall of Fame. Caribbean Series Hall of Fame, Puerto Rico Sports Hall of Fame. Wow. Passed away in 2021. Not anything else that I see here that is going to help, though.
Okay.
All right. So that's a 0.5 for you.
All right. And you have a Dodger and the one and only Duke Sims.
I was like, he sent you a Duke Snyder card. All right. Duke Sims, let's see, 11 years in the big league, 7 with Cleveland, 2 with the Dodgers, Detroit, and the Yankees, and then his final season with Texas in 1974. 1972, he split time between the Dodgers and the Tigers. Appeared in 89 games as a catcher and a right fielder. Hit 241, 341 on base, 357 slug for a 103 OPS plus. He had 6 home runs, 30 RBI, and a 1 even WAR.
Ooh.
Tell me there's nothing on this card that's going to knock him down.
No, there's nothing. It's just a close-up. He's a handsome guy, probably not quite as good-looking as me, but it's a close-up, and there's nothing that's going to change anything. Just regular Dodgers cap on.
This is interesting. Has the most career home runs of any Major League Baseball player born in Utah at 100 even.
Interesting.
I don't know if that is, I mean, this is on Wikipedia, so I don't know. I have to assume it's still true.
Yeah.
Corey Snyder went to BYU, but he wasn't born in Utah. So
Right.
Sims enrolled at the University of Idaho in Moscow. Played there for a couple of years, then transferred to Idaho State. Hit the final home run in the original Yankee Stadium the last day of the 73 season.
Oh, wow.
He also caught that day, making him the last Yankee to catch a game in the original Yankee Stadium as well. Worked for Texas Ranger owner after he retired in the plastic pipe business, it says. And then insurance before taking a minor league managerial position.
Very interesting.
Yeah. No, it's not a lot of pop culture. I mean, the movie for, who was it? Was it
Swoboda?
Swoboda? That was pure pop culture, but none of these guys have a whole lot. But with his 1.0 WAR, I win that round.
Yes.
We're going to the final round. Here it is, tied 2 apiece.
The rubber match, as it were. All right, and I have a Houston Astro, the one and only pitcher Don Wilson.
Don Wilson.
If I remember right, he was not a bad pitcher.
500 is what I would say. I've spent 9 years in the big leagues, all of it with Houston. He has got double digits across the wins and loss pretty much every year here. 1972, you just missed his lone all-star year. In 1972, he had a great year, though. 15-9 with a 2.68 ERA. He didn't do so well in the year of the pitcher in 1968, but 1972, he pitched pretty well. Let's see, 228 innings pitched, 196 hits allowed, 172 strikeouts for a 1.25 ERA, or 125 ERA plus, and a 4.9 WAR. Wow.
Very nice.
Very nice indeed. No transactions because he spent his entire career with Houston. Anything on the card going to help or hurt?
No, it's just a kind of a close-up. He's got like a half smile. Nothing.
I don't think there's not a lot of extra points on these cards.
No, but we're learning some interesting things.
Yes, we are. All right, well, we'll just say Don Wilson passed away in 1974. Right. All right, so you've got a 4.9 for your card, and you are going up against, all right?
Pete Broberg of the Rangers.
All right, I'm not feeling confident here. Broberg, 8 years in the big leagues, 4 with Texas, 2 with Milwaukee, Oakland, and the Cubbies for a year apiece. 1972, his first full season in the big leagues. He went 5-12. 4.29 ERA, 176 innings pitched, 153 hits allowed, struck out 133, led the league in hit batters with 13 for an ERA plus of 70 and a WAR of minus 0.1.
Ouch.
Or no, a WAR of -1, not minus 0.1, -1. Second overall draft pick of the A's in 68, but did not sign. Then the Senators picked him first overall in 71. And he did sign. Not traded for anybody of note during his career. And went to Dartmouth. That's all we've got on him.
Okay. Well, I'll take it.
Yeah, I think you will. That's a win for you.
Another battle, though.
Yeah, that one came down to it. Do you want to thank our guy again?
Yeah. All right. And hey, this was a blast. Huge thank you to John. Again, not saying last names, but if he gives me permission, I will. John, thank you so much for this opportunity.
72 cards. Wow.
Yeah. And there's still a bunch. So we can play these whenever we feel like it.
All right, we'll sprinkle those in. All right. Yeah, thank you very much. That's Wax Packs Heroes. That's also going to wrap up our episode for this week. Thank you for listening once again. If you want more of us, you can find us on the socials. We are at Two Strike Noise. Spell it out, please. That is at TWO Strike Noise. You can find us all over. I would just like to, again, let it be known, I do stream 3 times a week generally on, I've pretty much just on YouTube. I haven't been going on Twitch. Everybody seems to watch on YouTube. So I've been streaming there. 9 o'clock West Coast time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We have fun doing some dailies. Fridays, usually a little bit longer stream. Mark, you're going to start trying to join us, especially on those Friday streams. Yes. Yeah, a little bit of extra incentive there. We also have an email address that you all have been using that we really appreciate. Mark, you want to tell them about that?
It's tough to remember. It's Two Strike Noise. Spell it out. TWO Strike Noise @gmail.com.
It's not TOO or
no,
TO.
Do you believe that? No.
It's TWO.
Yeah.
Strike.
All the people that have been writing to TOO Strike Noise, I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, we're not getting them. Yeah. We're not getting them. All right. That'll be it for this episode. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. Let's do it again. We'll see you again on the next episode of Two Strike Noise.
Thank you. God bless you. Have a great day.